This is part 2 to What If Naruto was a child again. We left off with Naruto defeating Mizuki and getting his headband. A few days later, all the new genin are meeting their joining instructors. Kakashi is late as usual, and Naruto decides to change some things by trying to interact with Sasuke and Sakura in a friendly manner. He gets a couple answers from Sakura and Sasuke, and then Kakashi enters. Naruto decides not to prank Kakashi, although he does kind of want to. Kakashi tells them all to come to the roof. All the intros are the same. However, Naruto says this more calmly. Kakashi then tells them to meet at the training grounds tomorrow and not eat breakfast. The next day, they will arrive, and Naruto asks Sasuke and Sakura about their strengths. Naruto already knows, however, he asks, as he just wants to be able to pass the time smoothly. Sasuke says, "I'm all round good at everything." Sakura says, "I can do genjutsu well and have average taijutsu." Naruto then says, "There's a good chance that this will be a teamwork exercise. I can make a large amount of shadow clones." Kakashi then arrives and explains the test. He then says begin. All three scatter. Naruto then creates 2 shadow clones. Both the shadow clones go to Sasuke and Sakura and tell them this test is about teamwork. There are only 2 bells, however Kakashi Sensei knows that we most likely won't be able to take the bells. However, if we display teamwork, we will pass. Sasuke and Sakura understand. Naruto then explains the plan. Kakashi then notices Sakura walking out of the trees. She runs towards Kakashi, letting out a flurry of kunai attacks. Kakashi dodges them with relative ease, and Kakashi is about to launch an attack on Sakura. When Sakura shouts, "Sasuke, Naruto, now!" Naruto shoots a Gale Palm at Kakashi, and uses enough power to push Kakashi forwards. Sasuke then uses a Fireball Jutsu to burn Kakashi. Kakashi uses a Water Wall Jutsu blocking Sasuke's attack, saying, "Well done, you will pass." Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto are all happy that they passed. Kakashi then says well done, and the missions start tomorrow. Before Sasuke leaves, Naruto says, "Sasuke, flow chakra into your eyes." Sasuke obliges and notices his Sharingan is active. Naruto then says, "It's as I thought." Sasuke leaves in silence, as Sakura follows behind him. This leaves Kakashi alone with Naruto. Kakashi then says to Naruto, "Naruto, why were you holding back?" Naruto then says to Kakashi, "Was it that obvious?" Kakashi nods. Naruto then tells Kakashi, "Alright, I'll show you. Pull up your headband." Kakashi asks why, and Naruto replies, "I'll show you that the Sharingan doesn't mean that much." Kakashi is surprised that Naruto knows this much knowledge about him, especially him having the Sharingan, as it's always covered. Naruto then goes towards Kakashi, getting ready to run at him. He uses a small fraction of his full speed, around 50 times slower than his top speed, and blitzes Kakashi, who just barely blocks. Naruto says, "Just as I thought. You're as fast as I thought you'd be, Kakashi, but can you keep up with this?" Kakashi then gets serious, and Naruto goes 40 times slower than his full speed and holds a kunai to Kakashi's neck. Kakashi then says, "Okay, I give." Naruto then says, "Kakashi, you're still my sensei, and I will only be holding back unless we're in danger. I don't want to raise suspicion. I want to go on missions with you, Sasuke, and Sakura." Kakashi then says, "Alright, Naruto." Naruto then says, "Just remember, you can still train me, as I don't know some things that you know." Kakashi nods, and Naruto uses body flicker to go back to the village. Kakashi thinks to himself, "What an insane kid." They do many D-rank missions, and Naruto tells Sasuke to use his Sharingan through all of them to develop this. This leads to Sasuke having a dual 2 Tomoe Sharingan. Then Naruto, once at the Hokage's office with Team 7, politely requests a higher ranking mission, which Hiruzen accepts. This signals the beginning of the Land of Wave arc. We skip to when the Demon Brothers appear. Naruto weaves hand signs as a water dragon jutsu is launched at the Demon Brothers. Naruto then uses lightning stream on top of this. Naruto tells Sasuke use fire. Sasuke and Naruto jump up and they both use a fire style fireball jutsu. Naruto keeps it relative to Sasuke's size to not stand out too much. However, Kakashi notices just now that Naruto just used 3 chakra natures, and he also used wind chakra from last fight. This means in his mind he has 4 chakra natures. They then continue on the mission. Suddenly Zabuza then attacks and throws his sword. Naruto uses Earth Style Mud Wall to block the attack. Naruto then appears behind Zabuza, kicking him into the mud wall. Haku then appears and realizes Naruto is an incredible threat and quickly takes Zabuza away so they can rethink their strategy. Haku leaves and Naruto says to Kakashi that was Zabuza's teammate. Kakashi nods and decides to train Team 7. Kakashi demonstrates the tree walking and Sasuke and Sakura practice. Kakashi then tells Naruto to come with him. Naruto follows and Kakashi takes him to a different area. Kakashi then tells Naruto, I'm going to teach you one of my jutsu. Naruto nods and is very happy that he gets to train with Kakashi Sensei again. Kakashi in his timeline develops purple lightning way earlier. Kakashi then shows Naruto the technique. Naruto then says, as expected, you've created such an amazing jutsu. Kakashi then says, thank you Naruto, and then begins explaining the basic concept. Kakashi then tells Naruto he will check on his progress at the end of the day. Naruto trains hard all day. A lot of you were wondering why I said Naruto was weak at taijutsu. What I meant was, he doesn't have a lot of technique, but has insane power. Back to the what if. Kakashi checks up on Naruto to see his progress, and Kakashi is surprised that Naruto has already mastered the jutsu. Kakashi asks Naruto how he mastered the jutsu in such a short amount of time. Naruto replies, I used the principle of shadow clones. The knowledge and skills that have been picked up by my shadow clones get sent back to me, so instead of training for 1 day, I train 500 days as I use 500 clones. Kakashi is extremely impressed by Naruto's knowledge. Naruto then continues on saying, Lord Second wrote a book explaining the principle of all clone jutsus and how to optimize them. I took Lord Second's knowledge and then optimized that as it wasn't completely correct, and applied the perfect amount of chakra to train sustainably. Kakashi is impressed as he realizes Naruto is not only a prodigy, but also an extremely hard worker. We skip to the day of the bridge attack. Naruto fights Zabuza and lets Sasuke try to handle Haku. Naruto deliberately doesn't try to kill Zabuza, as he knows Haku's loyalty. Sasuke unlocks his 3 Tomoe in one eye, and is fighting slightly below par, but keeping up well enough. Naruto makes a shadow clone to help Sasuke. This clone holds back a lot, and just hurts Haku enough so Sasuke can beat him. Suddenly, Gato's gang arrive and tells Zabuza the deal is off. Naruto then says to Zabuza, alright, no need to fight now. Zabuza says, you're right, I think I'm going to kill this entire gang. Zabuza then charges at the entire gang and slaughters them all. Haku is still alive in this timeline, and the bridge still gets called the Great Naruto Bridge. But as a change, Zabuza and Haku are regarded heroes of the Land of Waves. Naruto tells Zabuza, don't go evil again or it will end bad for you. I'll make sure of it. Zabuza nods as he fears Naruto slightly. This concludes the Land of Waves arc. This is the end to part 2 of What If Naruto Was a Child Again. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe.